Hi 8th grade, I hope you're doing well, and anybody else that's watching this video. It doesn't have to just be 8th grade, it's just what the 8th graders are going through right now. We are in Proverbs 17 today, which means we are definitely over halfway through the book of Proverbs, and the rest of it will probably go by fast. So I'm a little sad about that because I've really enjoyed going through Proverbs. So anyways, let's enjoy it while we have it. Let's start with prayer. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for who you are. We thank you that you are in control, even though everything around us seems so different and out of control, Lord. I just pray that you continue to guide and direct us. Help us to be the people that you would have us to be. And help us to learn and to grow from Proverbs today. Pray all these things in your name. Amen. Okay. Proverbs 17. Better a little dry crust with peace and quiet than a house full of feasting with strife. So that means it's not about like how much food you have. It's better to get along and have that peace in the family than to sit there and be like, yeah, we have all this food, but we're fighting, and we're going all over, going against each other. Like, you don't want to be that family that's just like, rah, and yeah, you want there to be peace. So, verse 2, a wise servant will rule over a disgraceful son, and will share the inheritance as one of the brothers. So, somebody that is in the house and that is serving and loving the way that they should, they are going to be the ones that are going to receive the good. You think about it, like, if you have somebody that's doing all this good for you, but yet you have this family member that is just decided that they're going to be horrible and not kind and not loving, like, who are you going to care about more? You're going to care about that helper that is being kind and loving, and even though the other person's related to you, like, it's going to be harder to see that. Okay. Verse 3. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the heart. So this is talking about different ways that metals are tested, but God is our ultimate judge and the one that will test us and say, yeah, you are following my ways. Yeah, you are doing what you should. Or, no, you're not. Verse 4, a wicked man listens to evil lips. A liar pays attention to a malicious tongue. So that's saying, like, sometimes people choose to listen and pay attention to people saying things that they shouldn't, people saying things that are hurtful, when ultimately we shouldn't be listening to those things. He who mocks the poor shows contempt for their maker. Whoever gloats over disaster will not go unpunished. So that is saying none of us are better than anybody else. It is really horrible if we are making fun of people or putting them down because they're in a situation where they have less than us. If they're in that situation, like, we should not be putting them down. We should not be acting like we're better than them. We need to realize that we're all made in the image of God. He loves all of us the same. And so we should do that for them as well. Okay, verse 6. Children's children are a crown to the aged. A parent's pride are the pride of their children. So that's saying, like, grandparents love their grandchildren. They're super proud of them. They're super proud of what they're doing. Parents should be proud of their children and just love each other, lift each other up, be that encouragement. Verse 7. Arrogant lips are unsuited to a fool. How much worse lying lips to a ruler. Arrogant lips, like, that's not a good thing. For somebody that's foolish, like, they shouldn't sit there and be like, I know everything, I'm so important. And a ruler should definitely not be lying. If you're going to be in leadership, if you're going to be a ruler, like, don't be a liar. Okay, verse 8. A bribe is a charm to the one who gives it. A bribe is a charm to the one who gives it. Wherever he turns, he succeeds. So this is saying that sometimes a bribe can charm people and can cause things to work out so that you get what you want, but bribes aren't a good thing. He who covers over an offense promotes love, but whoever repeats the matter separates close friends. So if somebody wrongs you or something, forgive them and move on. Just cover it over with love and move on. Don't be that person to always bring up, remember that one time that you did that one thing and just how horrible it was. Don't be that person. Forgive with love and cover it over. Verse 10. A rebuke impresses a man of discernment. More than 100 lashes a fool. So a rebuke, correction, a rebuke, that impresses a man that's looking for discernment, looking to walk the right path. They're going to see rebukes as a good thing. But a foolish person, you can correct them and correct them and correct them and correct them, and they're just not going to listen and they're not going to care. A evil man is bent only on rebellion. A malicious official will be sent against him. So an evil man only wants to rebel and do things that they shouldn't. Well, that person is going to be confronted by a person that also wants to do evil, and it's not going to work out good. Where was I? Verse 12. Better to meet a bear robbed of her cubs than a fool and his folly. Okay, a bear robbed of her cubs, like, they are super mad, and you don't want to be in that situation. But this is saying a fool that is convinced that they need to do something, and they're going to do it no matter what, and they're not going to listen to reason, and they're just going to be horrible and awful. Like, you don't want to be in that situation either. Like, get away from both of them. If somebody is in a bad mood, and just sit there and say, hey, why don't you go hang out in your room and chill out? Or, whatever. Like, walk away from it. Stay away from them. Verse 13. If a man pays back evil for good, evil will never leave his house. When somebody does something good to you, make sure that you're returning the favor in a good way. Don't do evil to them, because you don't want a house full of evil. Starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam. So drop the matter before a dispute breaks out. Starting a quarrel is like opening up a dam, and all the water just rushes and rushes and rushes. So don't be the one to start the quarrel. Acquitting the guilty and condemning the innocent, the Lord detests them both. Those that are guilty, those that need to be held accountable, make sure that they're held accountable. But don't condemn those that haven't done anything. If somebody hasn't done something and you're upset for whatever reason, just walk away. Don't condemn them. Don't harm them. Oh, what use is money in the hands of a fool, since he has no desire to get wisdom. A foolish person is not looking for good things. They're not looking for wisdom. So don't give them money. Don't let them add to their foolishness with your money, and don't let them choose to do foolish things. Verse 17. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A friend loves at all times. They're there with you through thick and thin, no matter what. A brother is born to be there for you when there's adversity, when there's difficulty, when there's challenges. A man lacking in judgment strikes hands in pledge and puts up security for his neighbor. Think before you make an agreement. Think before you say, yeah, I'm going to do this for you, because you don't want to be put in a situation that you don't want to be in. He who loves a quarrel loves sin. He who builds a high gate invites destruction. Don't love a quarrel. Don't love sin. Don't invite sin. Don't invite destruction. A man of perverse heart does not prosper. He whose tongue is deceitful falls into trouble. Don't have a deceitful tongue. Speak the truth. Tell the truth. Be careful what your words are saying. Make sure that they're pure and good, and lifting each other up and being an encouragement. Verse 21. To have a fool for a son brings grief. There is no joy for the father of a fool. You don't want a son or somebody in your life that's going to choose to just do foolish thing after foolish thing after foolish thing. It's going to make you sad. It's going to bring you grief. And that's what this is saying. A father of a foolish person has no joy. What is there to be proud of? Verse 22. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Having a cheerful heart, being happy, that is going to bring good things. But being down and just focused on the bad things, that's going to eventually affect your health. Verse 23. A wicked man accepts a bribe in secret. A wicked man accepts a bribe in secret to pervert the course of justice. A wicked man's going to do anything that they can to do the wrong thing, or to do things that they shouldn't. Verse 24. A discerning man keeps wisdom in view, but foolish eyes wander to the ends of the earth. Those that are wise or seeking wisdom, they're going to keep wisdom in view. They're going to stay focused on doing what's right. But the foolish eyes are just looking. They're just looking for whatever they can find. They're not seeking out the right thing. They're just always constantly looking. 26. Or sorry. Where was I? 25. A foolish son brings grief to his father, and bitterness to the one who bore him. If you're going to be foolish, if you're going to do things that you shouldn't, that is going to hurt your father. That's going to hurt your mother. And that's going to give them a lot of pain. It is not good to punish an innocent man or to flog officials for their integrity. Don't punish somebody for doing what's right, for doing what's good. If your brother does something good, say something nice to him, or your sister or whatever. Don't be like, well, you shouldn't have done that. Now mom and dad are going to be happy for you. Like, be proud of them. Verse 27. A man of knowledge uses words with restraint, and a man of understanding is even-tempered. Be careful with what you say. Don't always just be speaking. Have understanding. Take time to speak. Take time to think. Don't just act. Breathe. Don't just be like, bah! Be like, okay, how am I going to approach this? What am I going to do? Last verse. Even a fool is thought to be wise if he keeps silent, and is discerning if he holds his tongue. Even a foolish person, if they are keeping their mouth shut and not speaking, people might just assume, wow, that person knows a lot. They know what they're doing. They don't have to know that they don't know what they're doing. Just keep your mouth shut. That is the end of today, Proverbs 17. We'll talk to you next time. Bye. God bless.